Hi, I'm Martin Laslett from Carbon Booms. I'm going to show you how I put together my fuzzy Aussie round boomerangs, and here to help me is Adam McLaughlin.
Hello.
Today, good morning. Today we're going to show you how we put together our fantastic boomerangs. I hope you enjoy this short video. This is Boom Lab. Okay, the first thing you've got to do, obviously, is you've got to make a mould. That's another story. But when you've made your mould, you have to make sure that it's waxed up top and bottom. The trick with this stuff is to get what you want to stick together and what you don't want to stick to not stick. If you haven't got the waxing right, you can end up ruining your boomerang, or even worse, losing your mould. You'll probably do it once.
So all we're doing now is just giving the two mixtures a good mix up. So you've got the hardener, you've got the epoxy. It needs to really be stirred well. You need to make sure, I think, that all the little pieces of each come in contact with each other. Scrape around the top.
There'll be some stuck to the edge.
What are you doing here, Martin?
Oh, this is a new technique. Previously I've used coins to get the weight, but I wasn't really happy with it. It was a lot of work filing the coins because they're a bit thick. So what I've got is a sheet of lead, and I'm just cutting the lead to the correct weights. So that one, as you can see, is 8 grams. This one I want it coming in at 12. So I just got to shave a bit off this one. And then of course they've got to fit in the mould. So make sure it fits in the mould first.
What's the total weight in this fuzzy?
The total weight on this will be 8, 12 and 5, whatever that adds up. 25 grams of weight, hopefully giving me a fuzzy weight of 71 grams, with most of the weight at the tips for the maximum range.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so now we've got to cut balsa wood. That balsa wood's going to fit together inside the boomerang to keep the weight out of the middle of the boomerang. So you do each arm. Obviously you've got to take into account that this is going to have the weights. So that balsa needs trimming off. So you do each arm, marking on the boomerang how far you got. And then we're going to trim these so they're just undersized.
So what Martin's doing here is just using a blade just to cut to the inside of the lines we've marked on the balsa, and make sure it doesn't stick through the edges of the carbon boomerang when it comes out the mould. So it's a nice snug fit.
A millimetre inside.
Yeah. And then all we do next is shape up this balsa roughly with rough airfoil, and then into the mould. Later, you'll see that later. Making carbon boomerangs is probably 80% preparation, 20% laying up. Did you say, Mark?
Yeah. So what we've got here is the balsa wood now fitting inside the mould. The sun's come out, so it's got a bit bright, but the balsa wood and the weights all fit inside the mould. What Adam's doing now is he's painting that first layer of resin onto the mould. And that resin's been mixed up for what?
45 minutes.
45 minutes now. So it's just got a bit of viscosity in it. and all the bubbles that were in the mix have come to the surface. So
What I'm doing now is I'm just holding it up to the light just to see if there's any dry spots, any bits I've missed. There's very little. And then we leave this now for 2 hours. The reason we do that is over the next 2 hours, basically all the little bubbles that you probably can't see on the camera, they'll pop out, and you'll end up with a really super smooth gel coat. So timing is critical. So now we're done and we wait for 2 hours.
okay, so what we've got here is low tack clear adhesive on a white paper backing. It's called Frisk film. We buy it from crafts and art shops, and we're drawing out the plans that we're going to cut the mat to. So at the moment we've drawn around the boomerang arms, and we're cutting around to within 3 or 4 millimeters of the edge. You frisk, you peel the backing off and place it down onto the carbon fibre mat. This is the frisk tape's going to get peeled off later, so don't push it down absolutely solid.
This is a little bit tricky.
Don't know if you can see that. You can now see where the red lines are, so you can cut out the shape of your boomerang. The fuzz is unusual because it takes so much material. It's actually got a split.
Okay, so what I'm doing now is just matching up the frisk on the top with its partner piece underneath. So the best way to do this is just to flick between the two. It doesn't have to be exact, but you need to be fairly accurate. So it takes a bit of practice to do this. So that looks good. I'm just going to lay that one down there.
We were just saying actually, with the way this is laid out on the mat, I'd just cut a square of frisk on the back of that.
Yeah. Right, what are you doing here, Martin?
Okay, so this is unidirectional carbon fibre tape, and this is going to go inside the boomerang as well.
Why do you use this?
Well, what we're aiming for is strength and rigidity. So if you think about the direction that the carbon fibre mat is in, most of the lines of the carbon weave are in that direction. We want to reinforce that, and one of the reasons is to use this for give us longitudinal strength. And I'm going to put glass, I'll show you the glass in a minute. I'm going to put glass at a 45 degree angle, which I'll show you in just a sec. Let's just get this ready.